And hello everyone, I'm back with another flashlight review, and today I continue my latest series in the FiTorch flashlights. And this time around we have the P20R from FiTorch, which as you can see is a CREE XP-L LED light with a top output of 1180 lumens and 120 hours if you run it constantly in low mode. USB rechargeable is one of its big features, and it has similar features to one of the other FiTorch flashlights that I did review out of the latest series. So you can check back in my reviews, and this one is of a reasonably good size, and the other one was also of roughly the same size, but they do have similar qualities between the two of them. On the back you do have basic information here. This light is a little different than the others which I've talked about because this one only has 3 modes: low, medium, and high. Personally, I wish they'd gone the same route as the others and put in a couple more modes, but for some reason they chose to only do 3 on this particular one. And, you know, I guess for personal preference that could be what a lot of people do like, or what some people would obviously like. Some people like less choices and so forth, and less pushing of buttons. So 3 modes is what you get with this, and you get the waterproof to IPX8, the beam distance of 245 meters, and it's impact resistant to 2 meters. So, pretty much the same information here on the side of the box. So, flashlight is in the box, as well as the other accessories. Let's see, I think there's something else there. Oh, there you go. The manual just fell out, and it's a pretty good manual. We'll take a look at that in just a second. And in addition to the flashlight, which is right here, here are your spare O-rings and spare switch cap. And here is the lanyard, here is the belt holster, which is pretty standard. Oh yes, there's also a lanyard over here which fell out. There it is, standard lanyard. And here are the other unique accessories. Oh, look at that. That was a lanyard from something else. My apologies. Here's the standard lanyard for the P20R. Alright, we had an imposter there a few moments ago. We also have the USB charging cable in here, and I believe that is all as far as what's inside the holster. Now the other accessories, and these particular ones are unique to FiTorch, and these are the same as with the other light that I talked about a moment ago, which is similar. This has the ring for which you can attach it to a keychain. Now we're not talking about attaching the flashlight to a keychain, we're talking about attaching this little devil to the keychain. This is the little guy which transforms into, is what transforms the flashlight into a power bank. So that's what this is obviously the end of a standard USB power cable, which is of course the standard end of what you get with the cable that they included with the flashlight. All of a sudden I don't have it anymore. Oh yeah, I put it back. There we go. Right. So that of course being the standard end to here, just like that, and this goes in the side of the flashlight. So this is what transforms the P20R into a powerful power bank to use with a cell phone or some other device that you'd like to charge via USB. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, you can also use the flashlight, I believe, on the lowest mode. So, anyway, let's get to this here in a matter of moments. So here is the flashlight, and it's of reasonable size, a little over 5 inches long. It is tactical, since it has the rear switch here, a clicky switch. So you get tactical light by lightly pressing the bottom. The only thing that I'm not too crazy about, and this is the exact same design as the previously discussed FiTorch of the same size, is that it will not tail stand because the button simply protrudes too far past these little legs, but still the switch protrudes too far past them to actually stand. And as I am most fond of tail standing flashlights, this one just won't cut it as far as that's concerned. So anyway, if you want to use that as a strike against you, or strike against it, go ahead. That's your prerogative. I'm not particularly fond of it myself either. So the rest of the flashlight is rather attractive looking. It does have some nice features. P20R right there. On the other side, there's your name, or the FiTorch name. I don't think your name is FiTorch, but theirs is. Comes with a pocket clip here. This is a very sturdy clip, and it can be shifted around, but it's very tight, so nothing's going to happen to that unless you physically pull it off. It has some reasonable, reasonable knurling here, should your fingers happen to get on that. It's slip resistant. The big button on the side is your mode switching and so forth, and of course to turn it on you press the button on the back. Here's the LED, which is the CREE XP-L. It is at the base of a smooth reflector, so it gets reasonably good beam distance. So, taking off the head portion, I have an O-ring right there, and here are the gizzards up inside here, where you'll find the circuit boards and so forth up behind there. And there is a spring in the tail cap. No spring in the top, as you can see. These threads are pretty well greased as well. So take off the back, and as for a battery, it's an 18650 light, which is the way it charges via USB. You can use other combinations of smaller batteries in configurations of 2, but of course you can't use the USB function when using a smaller battery. That would consist of 2 CR123s, or 2 rechargeable 16340s, or 2 rechargeable 18350s. So those would be your battery choices. And if you're uncertain, CR123 looks just like this. I have a battery here, of course, to place in the cap. Here's an 18650 flat top from Samsung. It seems to work with flat tops such as these quite well. This is also an IMR. So this type of battery will work fine in the light. You can see how far it sort of disappears inside the tube there. So the tube is long enough to accept slightly longer batteries. Some of those you do come across, but with the spring here in the cap, as you can see, it works quite well to make a good connection even with a flat top. Alright, so pretty simple operation here. I will turn off a light and push the button on the back where we get instant light. And I believe we are in the lowest mode right now, and anytime the light is on you get this big green illuminating ring around the dial. Don't think that's focusing too well. Anyway, that's the ring you get around the dial, so as you can see, using this in the dark is pretty foolproof because the ring stares you in the face. You can't turn it off, so it's always there. So this is the low mode, and it's got a fairly nice beam. It's not too spotlight, but it does have a very sharp center, so it gets out there quite far, and it does have some nice spill around the sides. There's low, and one presses medium, and there is quite a jump between medium and low, or medium and low, which brings me now to the fact that I did not mention the outputs on the light, which I'll do right now. Low is 30, medium is 300, so that's your big jump, and then high is 1180 for roughly 1.5 hours. So that constitutes the modes and the reason for the big jump between low and medium. And as we click it once again for high, that's your high beam. And the strange thing about this, of which you probably wouldn't have noticed on camera, is when I hit the high beam, it does kind of a little bounce. And I don't know the reason for this, something within the driver, but it goes up and then it kind of raises a bit, and then sometimes it goes on and then lowers for about a half a second and then pops back up again. And I've noticed this with a couple of different types of batteries, so it may be just something with the light that I received, but if it's across every light, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, and it only lasts for a second, and it is stable once it hits its height there. So, and the top of the head, rather, the tip of the head is already getting warm after it's only been on for 30-45 seconds, so it starts to get warm. But again, once it's locked in there, it'll stay on that brightness. So just a quick click will, of course, take it right back down to the low mode. And those are your three modes: low, medium, and high. And there it just did that little jump again when I clicked it on high. If I want one of the flashing modes, I just press and hold, and that gives me variable strobe. And then if I press and hold again, I get SOS. So we're in SOS mode, of course. And if I press and hold again, I get back to strobe. So it's just, as long as you keep pressing and holding, it just keeps going back between those two. If you give it one quick press, you go back to the mode you were in before, since of course it has mode memory. So again, press and hold, there's strobe, give it one press, and I'm back in medium again. So there's your strobe, your SOS, and the mode memory portion of the light. Now let me turn this light back on here while I show you a couple of other little features, which are kind of nifty, of course. We have to touch upon that little accessory here in a moment, but there is a battery indicator on here as well, so you can check battery voltage anytime. And the way to do that is to press and hold the side switch while it's off, and then click the tail switch. So if I press and hold and then click the tail, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the light will come on. So that's telling me that this battery is 4 volts with 4 blinks or 3 blinks or 2 blinks of the green, and then if it's weaker, it'll flash red. So let me go and put a weaker battery in here so we can demonstrate that portion of it. So let's try this one. And as I press and hold and click, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then it went green and the light came on. So that told me, look at that. This is even going the next step, which we haven't even talked about yet. This is telling us that the battery is very low. For a moment it was flashing in green, which means the battery voltage is getting low. And if you don't pay attention to that and charge the battery, it will then flash in red to tell you the voltage is very low. So that's what's happening right now. As you can see, it's flashing in red. So when I first went to check on the battery, let's do it again. Press and hold and turn this on. 1, 2, oh, there it's only 2 point now. So if you were counting the red flashes, that's telling you it's less than 3 volts. And then the light turns on as soon as it reaches the last one, turns on in the low mode, and now this is flashing because the voltage is really down. But if you were to count the red again after the initial green flash, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so it's 2.8. So this battery is very low at 2.8 volts and obviously needs charging. So that is a demonstration of the battery voltage counter when you give it a press, and what happens when the voltage of the battery gets very low. Put the other battery back in and resume the other part of the demonstration. So of course you have the USB port over here, and with any 18650 battery you can charge it inside the flashlight, of course. And with a standard cable, or the one that they furnish, you can plug that in the side of the light and, of course, charge your 18650 battery internally by, of course, putting the other end in any type of USB connector. As soon as the USB is charged, it'll start flashing in red, just as it's doing right now. And when it's finished charging, it'll go a solid green. And while it is charging, you can also use the flashlight in the lowest mode. So there it is right now, as the battery is charging, and it's flashing red. It's actually not even turning off. I'm clicking the switch and it isn't even turning off. Well, there, it does turn off with the press of the regular switch, of course. So there you go, charging the battery, and it'll turn green when it's finished. Now for the other accessory, which we had there a few minutes ago, here that is, and you would use that in much the same way, of course, to put this in the side of the light. This, by the way, is a little bit touchy, and on this particular light it does have to go in towards the bottom of the connector, but once it goes in it does fit well. And of course on the other end here you would plug that into another source to use as a power bank. So, you know, plug that into wherever, to a cell phone if it takes this size or whatever, and with a battery inside the light, then you'd flick the switch and then it would use that as a power bank. So that's how you use the little accessory part there. So that's the flashlight. That is the FiTorch P20R, which is a relatively nice light. If you like a simple light with 3 modes, nothing terribly fancy, which is also very bright, and if you don't mind that it doesn't tail stand, but that it has the ability to be used as a power bank, then I think you'll be pretty happy with the P20R. It was furnished by Banggood for this review. There is a link below if you'd like to check it out on their site and pick one up at a good price. You can also check that out along with my outdoor beam shots of the flashlight at lightsandgear.com, and there is a link there where you can pick it up as well. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know below in the comments, and check out Lights and Gear for flashlights, batteries, chargers, the link to the P20R, and much more. And of course, we'll see you next time with more. I do thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.